As children, we are pretty pure souls with very pure intentions. We're being encouraged to bloom into ourselves, but as we grow older, we lose track of our purpose because life happens. You've twisted yourself in so many ways to appeal to your environment, and as you move on each and every day, you're starting to feel like you don't even remember who you truly are. I'm a big believer that holding on to your past will sabotage your future. But in terms of figuring out who you are and what you came here to do, I highly recommend taking a trip down memory lane. By doing so, you might reconnect with your inner child, the one who was simply being, the one whose hopes and dreams could never be big enough, and the one who felt most alive whenever they were allowed to just be themselves. So, do us all a favor and be yourself. Purpose is such a big word. We spend a lifetime looking for it, without realizing that it's been within us all along. Your purpose can be found in whatever lights you up, what makes your eyes sparkle, what sets your soul on fire. It's in those things that you took for granted and you'd love to experience all over again. It's in the things that used to shine a light in the darkest of your times, and the things that made you hold on to your very existence. Your purpose is in everything that makes you, you. I used to be quite insecure about my dreams, so I mostly kept them to myself. But the world needs your authenticity. The world needs you for who you are, and the world needs you to follow your purpose. So I highly suggest you to look deep within yourself and what used to light you up. Because at that very core of yourself, that is where you will find your purpose. So really ask yourself, who were you before the world imprinted its disbelief and limitations on you? I think that when we embrace who we truly are and when we act in accordance with our purpose, only then can we truly understand the meaning of success and happiness. You might think that you are no longer that version of yourself, and this might be true for a certain time frame of your life. But that little one, the one with the birthright of being loved and deserving of a good life, that one is still with you and always will be. The one you might have ignored for the past decades is longing to be heard and seen by you. They might wonder why you've given up on their hopes and dreams. And I get it. Life might not always work out the way that we had hoped, but you're the grown-up now. Give your younger self all the chances that they had dreamed of. This is your very obligation. And this is where you will find your purpose. Your purpose doesn't reveal itself over time. It's been within you ever since you were born. Isn't it strange how, as kids, we are so much more inclined to chase whatever sparks our interest, without even thinking about the consequences of our actions? And yes, sometimes we might have hurt ourselves or gotten ourselves into trouble, but usually things worked out just fine. But the older we get and the more experience we have, the more cautious we become. And yes, there are things that we need to be aware of, and there are certainly times where we need to be more cautious. But if those fears and doubts become our very limitations, then we are not truly living. We are basically just surviving. That voice inside of you that you keep ignoring, that voice that you've been trying to drown out because you believe that listening to that voice would put you at risk, that voice is there for a reason, which is to remind you of why you came here in the first place. There is a reason why you are here, and it is not to live a life of agony and suffering, a life that you dread, doing all the things that you don't want to do just to get by. So how about for once, no matter what stage of your life you're at, whether you're in your teens or in your 20s, your 50s, 60s or 80s, how about for once you listen to that voice? And remember, on your way to finding your purpose, you cannot get lost. You will only find who you were supposed to be all along. And don't fear the journey. Following your purpose will oftentimes make your world crumble. But it's usually in those moments of complete chaos where you will finally meet your true self.